Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Farros Rabbani, and I'm here to share my literacy journey in English. The story shaped by where I was born, the media I consume, and the people I have met. This is my narrative of English acquisition. And my journey starts with a childhood love for movies like Transformers and Spider-Man. As a kid, I was just drawn to the action and the sounds. But this was my first encounter with English, driven by a simple motivation, watching without subtitles. That early exposure quickly connected to a more formal setting like online games. Games like Mobile Legends were where I first learned vocabulary that wasn't from a textbook. This is shift English from a subject to a tool for daily communication. In games, I practice my English with players from different countries. This is an example of English functioning as a lingua franca, a connecting language among people with different mother tongues. It was practical communication, not perfect grammar. And the biggest cultural shift for me was becoming an English literature student. It moved English from a fun hobby to an academic commitment. It made the language central to my campus life. But the shift brought new pressures, like the challenging British accent in a show like Peaky Blinders. While I admire and try to imitate it, it made me aware of my pronunciation struggles. This contrast creates a cultural bump, the feeling of awkwardness or nervous when trying to speak in the real world. I was afraid of making grammatical or pronunciation mistakes. However, the language also developed my critical thinking, having to understand complex meaning and structures for a deeper engagement with every idea. This is the intellectual payoff. My real English user moment happened when I used English spontaneously. It was chatting with foreigners in Bali, needing to ask for a photo. It was practical, necessary, and successful. And now moving to my cultural identity, I learned my heritage is 100% Maduris. Just realized when I fill a UNESA registrations. This is a crucial layer often hidden when I'm speaking English. It shows my local roots. Even though I don't speak Maduris, I passively understand it. My primary family language are Indonesian and Japanese. English sits layer on top of this foundation language. And an unexpected cultural artifact in my language learning. My mother is a teacher in junior high school. As a teacher, she often gave simple comments in English like buy eggs in the market. This integrated English into routine life. And the mother's use of English is a form of code switching within the family. She intentionally blended language to give simple, memorable instruction, showing that GICC happens even in the smallest daily interaction. And I actively practice code switching on social media. I comment on memes using a blend of English, Indonesian, or Japanese. This digital space is where my hybridity is most visible. And my digital identity is much more open and confident. I'm less worried about grammar because of tools like autocorrection in keyboard. The system as a safety net enabling freer expression. This contrasts sharply with my real world identity, where the fear of pronouncing things wrong still makes me awkward. One identity is supported by technology, the other relies purely on my performance. And even if with the awkwardness, I keep trying to interact. Why? Because as an English literature student, English is now a defining tool for my future and my profession, and it's unavoidable. And looking back, movies are the single piece of media with the biggest impact. They didn't just teach me vocabulary, they taught me how to pronounce words and the context of their use. In conclusion, my journey is a mix of formal study, digital play, family influence, and intercultural encounters. My English is hybrid that reflects my mother's heritage, Japanese or Indonesian home, and global media consumption. And finally, thank you for watching my literacy narrative. I hope I will get A+. Thank you very much.